Netflix and Spotify finally address Harry and Meghan's lack of output. So far, in return for multi-million dollar contracts with them, Spotify has received just one Christmas special, and Netflix is waiting on Harry's Heart of Invictus series. Okay, so Harry is running Heart of Invictus. He's not doing it, and it's a series. He's not done it. Okay, with Spotify, they did just one Christmas special, and whale sounds for sleeping beat them out. Okay, so there wasn't that much excitement for their Spotify. I'm sure that was disappointing to them. So now Netflix and Spotify are hiring so that to actually produce Harry and Meghan's shows. The other thing that's happening is it looks like Spotify is just going to be the voices of influential women. Harry is going to be relegated to executive producer only, which means money guy. I mean, what does that mean? And it really looks like Meghan is going to be running the Spotify all by herself. The bubble over my head is, does that mean that Meghan and Harry are not getting along, or they're maybe not together? Maybe Harry is staying in an apartment in San Francisco. Spot of bother. Harry and Meghan hit out at Spotify over COVID misinformation after Joe Rogan anti-vax controversy. So basically, okay, Neil Young came out and said he's going to take his content off of Spotify if they don't cancel Joe Rogan. And then Joni Mitchell, another ancient singer, came out and said the same thing, that she's supporting Neil Young. And Harry and Meghan came out and said they're supporting Neil Young, and Joe Rogan is spreading misinformation. What Joe Rogan is, number one, the most popular podcaster in the world. Nobody compares to Joe Rogan. I mean, he beats everyone hands down. He is the Google of podcasting. He's not spreading misinformation. He's listening to all of the different voices, and he had COVID, just like I actually think I got all three versions of COVID. And before this, I would say I never got sick because I wouldn't get sick for 10 years at a time. But I got all three, and I got one real bad, and two out of the three, I didn't even go to the doctor. Okay, because they were mild enough that they just passed through in a couple of days. Piers Morgan weighed in on this. I love Piers. We got to listen to what Piers said because he always gets it right. Piers said, in a new low, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex have demanded that the Swedish streaming platform, which paid them $25 million last year to do their own podcast, do something about Joe Rogan's, quote, rampant misinformation. Sorry, what? A pair of two-bit minor British royal family renegades, best known for spewing outrageously harmful misinformation to Oprah Winfrey, are trying to suppress an American's First Amendment right to free speech, which, by the way, they don't have the same free speech rights in the UK. How dare she and her equally hypocritical husband, Harry, make any demands from a company that's paid them a fortune to so far produce one podcast that was so bad I needed urgent brain cell restoration surgery after enduring it? If the choice of whom to listen to in America is a curious, smart man who listens to myriad views to get to the truth, or a pair of fork-tongued, woke wastrels whose only currency is trashing the royal institution that gave them their titles to exploit for vast financial gain, give me the former anytime. I don't know if you listen to Joe Rogan. He is very intelligent and very insightful, and I actually really love his podcast. Magi family, I'm really struggling with technical issues. I ended up screaming at my camera and it wouldn't zoom. Wow. And then I lost 8 minutes of footage up front. Crazy. So I was on the second spread. And so let's read this. Our Harry, and I already threw it. I shuffled it, I threw it, and it lost all the footage. Crazy. So are Harry and Meghan separated now? Because with the Spotify is going forward, they're hiring people and they're going forward with only the voices of influential women, and only Meghan is going to be producing this. Harry is going to be the talent on this, and Harry is the executive producer. So I'm wondering if Meghan and Harry are separated right now, or if they're not getting along. I just want to see what's going on. So this is Meghan, this is Harry, and I also have to rethrow the first spread because none of it recorded, which has never happened before. So Meghan and Harry, are they separated now? Butterfly, transforming, roadblock, long-term, 15, 4 clubs. I think Meghan is all over the map. I think they're having a lot of trouble. Roadblock, they're just having a lot of trouble, and it's really heavy, and the relationship is really heavy. Okay, and when the relationship becomes really heavy, if you're not married, just start ghosting. Just do something else. Okay, if you're having the can we talk thing, no, we can't. We're talking all the time. Oh, can you sit down? No, I can't sit down. I don't understand. I mean, what does sitting down have to do with anything? I don't get it. Okay, and the relationship it just looks like it's getting heavy. It's getting really heavy on her side. So a narcissist will love bomb you, and then they start discarding you, and then they start devaluing you, and then they replace you. So this looks like, to me, she's not loving it anymore, and she's looking for Mr. Next. Okay, what's going on with Harry? Cross, marriage, family, really committed to this marriage and family, and that's what he's telling her. 7, 14, 4 diamonds. Harry is solid as a rock, and she looks like she's looking for Mr. Next. Underneath, very emotional, reacting to the emotions. So it's a very emotional, very explosive environment. And I think Meghan is already starting to transition out of this relationship. She's got 2 kids. Whether you believe they're from surrogates or not, if you can't prove that, she's got 2 kids. Okay, are they going to be in the royal lineage? Hopefully not. Okay, but she's got the insurance policy of 2 kids. She's going to be set for life, hopefully. And I think that's what she's thinking. She's starting to look at transitioning out. She's not loving this. It's a very incendiary environment. And narcs are 2 different people. They wear the mask. They're like super nice to everybody outside the family, and inside they're throwing dishes. They're screaming at people. They're pulling knives on you. They're extorting you. I mean, goodness knows. Okay, so let's go back and do spread number 1 again, which was very clear, but I'm sure the cards will tell the same story again. You see how hard it is to zoom. My camera's just not zooming. It's suffering from old age and COVID, apparently. Apparently, cameras can get COVID, and my camera didn't get the jab. So let's look at Spotify and Netflix. What are their thoughts on Harry and Meghan after a year of 0 output? What are their thoughts on Harry and Meghan after an entire year of no output? Spotify and Netflix. Spotify, wow. And Netflix. Ooh. I have a good test for the cards, I just threw on them. But cards don't like to be asked the same questions over and over, but I think they understand because this came out very similar. So Spotify, very disappointed, taking matters into their own hands, and they have to react to this nonsense. 13 and 23 and 5, 28, 7 spades. There's a lot of talking and strategizing behind the scenes. They are taking control of this project. They're going to run this project, and they're going to beat the backs of Harry and Meghan if they have to. They could not be more disappointed with their investment. They spent $18 million for content, and they got one Christmas special, and it didn't even beat out whale sounds for sleeping. What's up with Netflix? City, okay, the whole world, no content, no content at all. 12 and 8, 20, 5 spades, nothing. They received nothing. Nothing, just promises. So 20, blocked. Yep, 12 and 8, 20, blocked. And this is secrets, 7 spades and 5 spades. So they're both upset. Spotify is really taking the reins on this. Underneath, Fox is a great business card, and Incubus Succubus. Bad business. 18. So far, this is bad business. No content. But we've got some more shadow cards. Magi, 10 diamonds. Big money card. The best money card is 10 diamonds. 9 hearts emphasizes these other cards. So they believe absolutely if they can just squeeze some content out of these lazy do-nothings, Harry and Meghan, they can make some serious money, okay? And they're sure money makers. So far, they couldn't be more disappointed. They're very upset, and they're really going to take things into their own hands, and they're going to, basically with Spotify, they've got their own producers. And producers are going to call the people, schedule the interviews, do everything, and literally Meghan just shows up. Be there at 1:30 for a 2 o'clock interview. Here's the questions you're going to ask, and they're going to run her through the paces like a horse and feed her the oats, and she just has to show up. She doesn't have to do anything except show up. And they're going to send people to bring her to the studio. So they're really taking matters into their own hands, and they're making sure that these two produce now, because this is just really bad business, paying people millions of dollars, and they don't produce anything. All right, the word on the street is Meghan is restarting the TIG. She has reapplied for the copyright or whatever to get back the TIG and restart it. She had to shut this blog down when Harry engaged her to marry. Okay, but now that they're rogue royals, anything goes. All they do is criticize the royal family. So that's a huge opportunity to really criticize the royal family in writing all the time. And I'm sure she wants to compete with Gwyneth Paltrow. Goop wants to turn it into a Goop website, and like Gwyneth Paltrow, you can get her vagina candle, which allegedly smells like her vagina and is a big seller. And, that candle probably costs 12 cents to produce. She's probably selling it for $25 or $30 or $50. That's a pretty good profit margin. So is Meghan Markle, is she going to restart the TIG? As people are saying. 10 spades. We're getting a 10. Oh my. Well, that's telling a story. Interesting. Interesting story being told by these cards. Okay, Earthquake, 6 spades, and Mother Earth. Okay, Mother Earth is the situation, or could be a mother, but in this case, it's a good situation. Okay, great disappointment and disaster, and soured, very soured. So 22, 28, 7 spades. So this is desperation. Meghan is getting desperate. She's rehashing. This is where she came from, okay? And when she was an up-and-coming actress, and she's on Suits, and she felt that her time was
running out. And so she was looking for a wealthy man to marry. She realizes she's beautiful, but she felt that her acting career, because she was getting older, was kind of running its course. A woman really needs to take advantage of her beauty while she really has it. And she's lying about her age. She's actually 5 years older, so she gave herself 5 more years. But at some point, unless you're Glenn Close, it all runs out. Okay, and you should probably look for other options. And that's what Meghan was doing. That's how she ended up marrying Harry, because she was looking for a wealthy British man. Why a wealthy British man? Why not an American man? Why not a Canadian fellow? Well, I think she just burned too many bridges over in Canada and America, and so she wanted to start fresh. Why not a Saudi billionaire? I think she would be open to that, because that's really a fresh start. So why is she restarting the TIG? Because she feels that this is desperation. 10 spades, 6 spades. It's just not going well. It's really not going well. She's a smart girl, and she sees the writing on the wall. This is really not going well. What's underneath? Executioner, high tower, karmic relationship. Okay, this is a well-traveled path. She knows how this one works because she's done it. 3 diamonds, 10 clubs, working everything together. She knows how to do this. She's done it. Once you're doing something, you know how to do it. She knows how to do this. Executioner, 9 clubs. This is like executioners. This is an executive decision. So I think the key to Meghan's success, whatever success she's had, and she became a duchess. She made it into the royal family. That's great success. Okay, and she did make, $1 million as an actress. That is real success. So whatever success that Meghan has, what she's really good at, in my opinion, is she's really good at throwing herself into things, okay, and really committing, really putting her entire being into this. That's what this shows. She's just she's made a decision and she goes after it, and she's just made a decision that she's going to try everything, and the TIG is just one of those things. She really, it's an old saw. She knows how to play that TIG. She knows how to play the TIG. But it comes from desperation and disappointment. Okay, finally we have Harry and Meghan coming out in support of canceling Joe Rogan. Oh, Spotify, you should cancel Joe Rogan, the most popular podcast on earth. Okay, and furthermore, podcasting is still a new thing. He's a new guy. Podcasting is really new. It's come up in the last 5 years. YouTube has come up in really the last 5 years. It's really new. Okay, so you could also make the statement that Joe Rogan is probably, I'm almost certain that Joe Rogan would be the most popular podcaster ever. Okay, he's like in the Guinness Book of World Records at this point. So who is the public behind? Okay, Harry and Meghan or Joe Rogan? Because right now, what else is going on in the world? Well, we have riots going on, and the media, the lamestream media, which is very biased and is working with the politicos apparently, which that's called propaganda. Okay, and the people who are not, who are they? They're YouTubers, they're podcasters. Joe Rogan is not in line with the mainstream media, which is why he's the most popular podcaster on planet Earth. Why has CNN lost 90% of its viewership since Trump left office? and Biden somehow got more votes than any presidential candidate in history. He got 80 million votes, and he got more votes than Barack Obama, a very popular president. And I voted for Barack Obama. How did that happen? It didn't. That's how it happened. Okay, so what's going on with CNN losing 90% of their audience? People don't trust CNN. Why is Joe Rogan the most popular podcaster? Because people believe Joe Rogan. He's an honest person. He's not lying to you. This is not propaganda. He's not propagandizing you. Okay, why? And there's this huge trucker strike shutting down Canada right now. And who's not reporting it? The lamestream media. Who's not reporting it? Okay, and what are they protesting? They're protesting vaccine passports. They're protesting more limitations and more job losses. This is nonsense. This is nonsense. Okay, so Harry and Meghan versus Joe Rogan. They stood with Neil Young and Joni Mitchell and the Vaxxers. So whose side is the public on? Harry and Meghan or Joe Rogan? Let's look. Harry and Meghan. Interesting. Or Joe Rogan. Oh my goodness. Interesting cards. Can't wait to read them. Whose side is the public on? Manifesting an executive decision and just hitting that saw. 26, 29, water into wine. Never let a good crisis go to waste. This is an opportunity. They had to jump on it. They had to put their voice out there. And this is like just beating that horse and putting their voice out there. This has nothing to do with believing in the vaccine. This, for Harry and Meghan, is all about putting their name out there and just staying consistent. We're for the vaccines. We're for big government. We're for the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party, and we want to bring that here to America. And we want, freedom. What's that? What are you talking about? Don't be ridiculous. Okay, that's their position. Joe Rogan. They stand with Joe Rogan. They're very upset about this, but they're keeping quiet. The public is keeping quiet mostly about their support for Joe Rogan because it's such a dangerous time. Anybody accuses you of some nonsense. I'm having my car worked on, so I'm having my ringer is at full volume because I need to talk to these people and get the messages when they call. So people are scared and they're very disappointed and very upset about what's going on, but they stand with Joe Rogan. They're standing with Joe Rogan. So who are they with? They're with Joe Rogan. And Harry and Meghan, this just shows that it's really, this is just opportunism. They don't believe at all in this vaccine. It doesn't, and whether they do or not believe in the vaccine, it doesn't matter. They're going to say they stand for the vaccine. They're playing a purely political influencer game here. So what's underneath? Sun and home. Okay, we're a family. In the United States, we're a family. We're all in this together. In the UK, you're a family. You're in this together. You could say the entire Western world is a family and in this together. 5, 2 hearts. We're all living through this, and we just want the truth. People just want the truth. 10 hearts, emotional narrative, player, and Star of Bethlehem. Player is going to manipulate you. Player is going to lie to you. People understand that a lot of what they're hearing is just emotional rhetoric, and they're just manipulating people. Yep. 21 and 7, 28, 7 spades. And here's the 7 spades again. So people realize that they're being played. They're getting played. They're getting manipulated. They stand with Joe Rogan. They don't want to come out and say so because, a million people attacking you, that's a bad thing. Maybe Joe Rogan can stand up to that because he's very, very wealthy and he has a lot of people helping him because he's so wealthy. But one person saying, oh, I'm for this or I'm for that. They can't stand up like Joe Rogan can because he has a lot more, strength. Harry and Meghan, they're just opportunists. They don't believe it. This says they don't believe in the vax. It doesn't matter if they believe in the vax or don't believe in the vax. And look at how the narrative has changed. I mean, before this, if you said that the virus was made in a lab in Wuhan, you would be canceled. Well, everybody's saying this now. It's common knowledge that this almost certainly came from a lab in Wuhan. If you said that this came out of China, that this virus came out of China, you were a bigot. Well, everybody now knows that this came out of China, okay? And that's even on CNN. There's so many things that you weren't allowed to say and you would be canceled for. And that's what Joe Rogan and the other freedom-loving YouTubers and bloggers are doing. They talk to the contradicting voices, and they're not gaslighting you. They don't have a political agenda that they're following. They're just looking for the truth. And that's what people want. And people realize they're being manipulated. So what do we have? Okay, besides my camera going kaput and going crazy. Are Harry and Meghan separated now? Ugh, I don't even remember. Goodness. Yeah, the camera problems really knocked me off my game here. So Netflix and Spotify are very, very upset. Okay, Harry and Meghan, are they separate? Harry is really committed to the relationship and doing everything he can to make it work. And I think Meghan is transitioning out of the relationship. Even now, she is starting to look for Mr. Next. And so that means she's devaluing him, she's sabotaging him, and she's destroying him, which we clearly see her doing. And exactly what she wants is Harry standing like a rock on her behalf while she destroys him. And that's what's happening. It's the perfect manipulation of the narcissist. Okay, Spotify and Netflix, they're both incredibly disappointed. This is just really bad business. Spotify spent 18 million, Netflix spent 112 million, zero content, but they're confident that Harry and Meghan, if they can just push content out of them, that it's a winner. Is Meghan restarting the TIG? You bet. She is. And it comes from desperation, from feeling, wow, this is a disaster. This has really not worked out. And she just really knows what to do. And who are they in support of? I'd say people are in support of Joe Rogan and not Meghan and Harry. They've turned. They're now anti-vax. And so all the people who've got the vaccine and knuckled under and made all those sacrifices and took the risks to get the vaccine, they're the ones who are upset that everyone else now is going to get a free pass and doesn't have to get the vaccine. That's what's going on. That's how I see it. I'm Joseph Magi, author of Playing Card Divination, Fortune Telling, The Magi Method. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and